Hello, LinkedIn, Facebook private group, and YouTube. Great to be back with another LinkedIn Live. And I have a very, very special guest today and a very, very special session planned today. You might be hearing children noises probably at the back. It would be a constant factor because I have a kid at home and it's pretty okay. But I have made sure that my voice is audible. Let me know in the comments below if my voice is audible and if you can view me. My StreamYard is telling me I am live. Today's session is all about debunking 3 LinkedIn myths which newcomers to Canada have. So this session is primarily for pre-arrival immigrants, post-arrival immigrants who have certain misconceptions. So we are going to straight those misconceptions today. And I am one of a LinkedIn coach, and I have another LinkedIn coach with me. So you have 2 LinkedIn coaches guiding you on how to navigate, use LinkedIn while you navigate through your job search. So a little bit about me. I am a LinkedIn coach for newcomers to Canada executives. I help pre-arrival immigrants and post-arrival immigrants using LinkedIn as a professional tool to connect with the right people strategically and positioning themselves properly. Also, I have with me just at the backstage Elia Francis. She is another LinkedIn coach, and she is also an immigrant. She's also an immigrant as well. So we both are here to help you debunk 3 top LinkedIn myths. So while we are talking, do leave it in the comments below where you're joining me from, and if you have any LinkedIn challenges, you have for another 30 minutes 2 of LinkedIn coaches talking about all of that. So let me pull Elia back from the backstage. She's waiting for us. So I'm welcoming Elia now. So welcome, Elia,
Hello.
to the show.
How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Great to be having you in my show, which is all about which is all about newcomers growing and using LinkedIn as an opportunity tool. So great to be having you, and I know you have loads and loads of LinkedIn knowledge, experience, and you coach businesses, entrepreneurs, and anybody, any professional to use LinkedIn and in a right way to accelerate their career goals. So I will give it to you to do a little bit of your introduction.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Khatija, for letting me share the stage, your own stage with me. And as I am an engineer. I am an immigrant to Canada, so this topic and especially your mission is very dear to my heart because I was there in, where you are, now helping people. So as an engineer, I tried, to pivot my career when I came to Canada because I used to work in oil fields. I used to work in the oil and gas industry, but I moved to Ontario where the oil and gas world is very limited, except if you go to Sarnia or other places. But I live in Oakville, just 40 minutes away from downtown Toronto. So I knew that I have great skills, that I can be a great asset for any organization. But I also needed to understand, how to use those to transition, successfully to the Canadian job market.
Mhm.
So having this said, I started using LinkedIn. I had people in my network that I did not have. I have 0 people in my network, but as I married a Canadian person, I had the opportunity to get that information, to get the same people that he supported, or uh, was supporting him, into mine. So I am not the typical immigrant story. I had the support of a Canadian person, and that gave me a great advantage. I acquired my language, but then I realized that this tool, LinkedIn, was so powerful. And with what I put, with what I um, wrote on my, about section, and everything that I added was attracting recruiters, calls. I never had to apply for jobs, but I was headhunted. So by being headhunted means that I am a strong candidate for the Canadian job market. I have the opportunity also through my connections to
Mhm.
get an interview and find a great opportunity at a software company where I had never before worked in my entire life. So I realized the power and the potential that LinkedIn had for me, and I started using it. So once I started receiving asking, get asked for advice with my friends, and I started telling them this is how you need to write your resume based on what I knew, based on what I had in my resume, and based on the results I gave me. Then people started getting the same results. So I decided to create a course in 2018, and I had my very first 7 students back then. And all of a sudden, I started, seeing this as a way of, one, helping my community, two, giving back, and
Mhm.
also getting up to date with a social networking platform for business. And ever since I've been here, and I've coached around 100 people now on how to create a strong professional profiles and how to project themselves and interviews in the professional sphere and how to network, because people might not know how to use this great tool that you and I now consider, the primary platform and that we love for sure.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, great to hear your story, Alien, and how you have empowered hundreds. And that's exactly what we are here for, to echo. I just echo whatever you just said. Sometimes, as newcomers or as immigrants, we don't know. We are oblivious of how things work. And I completely resonated with what you said, because I was a newcomer, just like you, as an immigrant. I was a newcomer myself. And I didn't knew a lot of things how it worked here in Canada, and LinkedIn is definitely a very very hidden component which a lot of newcomers don't know. They know it's a professional tool, but there are a lot of myths. So we'll be talking about all those three myths today. So I would want to just chime in with the audience as well. So if you're watching me and Alia, leave it in the comments below where you're joining me from. And if you have any LinkedIn questions, you have another 22 minutes of two LinkedIn coaches who can advise you right away if you have any challenge, because sometimes it's difficult to get the coaches one on one because of our busy schedule. But this is a great opportunity, because I've pulled in Alia for my show. So thank you so much. So leave it in the comments below if you have any questions. So let's proceed with the first myth that newcomers have. Is the first one that LinkedIn is a job board. A lot of immigrant treat it as a job website where they just come, make a profile, and just start applying for jobs. Bang, 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 bang. So yes, Elia, I'll give it to you. How would you explain this one?
Well, truly, I mentioned before, LinkedIn is your marketing tool. Is the best way to show the best that you do, what you know, who you help, and how. And if you're not taking advantage of this, to start building up, to meeting people that can take you to the next career step, to your next level, then you're missing out. You If you stay where you are, if you don't have the ability to understand, what the conversation that gets in your feed it's all about, and how to join that conversation, then people will not see you. If you're not being seen, you will not be remembered either. So there's that passive state that people used to have on LinkedIn, it's no longer valid. It's 2021. We lived through a pandemic. We realized that we needed to be in the virtual world, networking because of our own health. Because it was, we couldn't meet people without running the risk of, being infected with COVID. So right now, the virtual scene is absolutely vital for you to stay relevant, to find other peers who can support you, and especially to create content. And I know that this is not for everyone. So LinkedIn is not a job board. LinkedIn is a communication tool. LinkedIn is a visibility tool. So if you're not visible, if you're not on LinkedIn, chances are that you do not exist for the working world. I'll tell you that.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Just chiming in what you just said, and I was nodding, and my heart was saying yes, yes, yes. I completely loved how you said that if you are not visible on LinkedIn, you are not visible to your audience, whether it be recruiters or employers. And I completely resonate. LinkedIn in 2021 is not a job board. It's a community hub for me. I just add, it's a community hub where newcomer job seekers come. Of course, they need to comment. They need to create content to show that visibility. As you said, if you are not visible through your comment communication or any kind of communication, you will not be visible to the right people. So it's very important to chime in with the community. You have to speak up. And the only way on LinkedIn is through comments, through DMs, through content. And that's how you become friends with the LinkedIn bot. And that's how you become friends with the LinkedIn human, right?
Exactly. So when you have, for example, you start seeing news posts and updates that are completely irrelevant to you. That means that either you connected with people who are not sharing the same interests you have. They are in a different industry, and for now that their information, it doesn't add anything to you. So it's a good way to, one, create a list of people that you want to support, that you want to connect with, and then you want to stay visible with. That's very important because LinkedIn is not random. And I see it. I see people making mistakes. I made the mistake. For when I realized that every time I click like, I click love, I click clap, and I comment on someone's post, that would have been, turning my career, my feed, and it'll be part of the conversation that I was interested in. So I realized that I had to be careful. And even though there are people who I love supporting, that is sometimes they have a completely different topic of conversation, and I don't want my network to be confused on what I am trying to bring the conversation with. So I am very careful, although I support multiple people in different ways, not only online but offline. I refer people when, other businesses, other professionals, when I know that I understand that the person might have a need, and I understand that I know a contact in an organization that they can be useful for, I do the introduction. So the opportunity to help is not only, visible, but also in the background. That's for me key. When you really are social because you really want to help, then people see it, people notice it. But when you see that there's like a benefit that you expect as a result of that transaction, then it's fake. You're not building the relationship. You're trying to find a benefit for you, and it's not the case. And like on my side, it's not the case.
Okay, I resonated with what you said about first being intentional. That you kind of needs to be a really little strategic about who you connect with. It's not like random things that you do. You need to know what your interest set is, what you are here for. So I very resonated with you because your news feed displays what you interact and engage with. And the second piece I resonated with, that if you are connecting with someone, it is not just a mere connection. It needs to be a conversation to have that relationship. Because I remember in 2016 when I come on LinkedIn, I was of the same idea: connect, 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 connect. It took me some while to understand that in Canada, it's a Canadian culture. You need to have that conversation, genuine, organic relationship building for to expect something. It's like giving and then expecting something. So as an immigrant, I was like, okay, if I knock someone's door, even on LinkedIn, they have to give me back. So that is the mindset, and that is what here we are for, to break those mindsets. And I wouldn't say break, I would say to rejuvenate or to reframe the mindset that it's not about knocking someone's door as a stranger. It's about nurturing relationship over a period of time. So I loved what you just said and I resonate with it. And I think so our relationship and our LinkedIn live right now, it's because of LinkedIn and how we nurtured relationship over a period of time. And I invited you and you said yes, and it was humbling that I knocked your door. We did a little bit of relationship building over a period of time, and I asked you something and you said yes. And that's the beauty, I think, so of relationship building on LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I know that it's not what other consultants do.
Mhm.
It all depends. One, on the person, second, the approach, and
Mhm.
third, that you truly are you a really good human to others. I am naturally social. Like I
Mhm.
don't. I know that there are many people and business owners that they just say their boundaries.
Mhm.
The conversation or communications are strictly business related.
Mhm.
Nobody wastes anybody's time, and that's okay. I
That.
like meeting new people, and especially when they are immigrant, when they come from different backgrounds
Mhm.
and cultures, because I had a different culture than,
Mhm.
for example, you. And
Mhm.
we came from two different countries. So
Mhm.
because of that, I
Mhm.
just understand that we don't get it. We sometimes we come
Yeah.
to a different job market, the Canadian job market, for example, and we don't get it. But we need to
Yeah.
understand how the transition goes,
Mhm.
even how we relate to each other. I've
Mhm.
had I have professionals who I've connected with, and they come from other cultures as well. So they might sound or feel rude to me, but I
Mhm.
understand that this is the way they
Right.
relate or they address other people. And they met me, or for example, we started the conversations in DMs, and then immediately I receive a recommendation and I receive an endorsement, and I'm like, wow, okay, it's overwhelming. I do
Mhm.
not accept recommendations from people that I don't know
Right.
or that I
Mhm.
haven't worked with,
Mhm.
because for me, recommendations have a lot of weight on my
Yes.
profile, and it says a lot about me. So I treat them as such,
Mhm.
and then I just, if it's an endorsement, I would say thank you so much. Where have we connected with?
Mhm.
If I understand that that person has talked to me either in DMs, in comments, and that's okay. But then
Mhm.
I receive the comment, can you endorse me back? And
Okay.
that's when you are
Mhm.
doing LinkedIn the wrong way. You cannot
Mhm.
just consider that everything has to be, in retribution. You need to earn it, because
Yeah.
it truly is meeting a new person. And I am not going to endorse anybody that crosses my street,
Mhm.
because just because they ask me. You
Yeah.
need to earn it. I need to like you. I need to understand, where you come from, your true mission as a professional. And then if I trust you,
Mhm.
I will endorse you. And I made the mistake, and I didn't know. I didn't know.
Mhm.
I had a new connection. That connection, share with me LinkedIn Lives. It was a
Mhm.
networking LinkedIn Live, so there were
Mhm.
like around 15 or 20 people in this show.
Mhm.
It happens that this person came to be a scammer. A
Mhm.
scammer. He no longer is on LinkedIn. So even if you want, even if you can, unfortunately, is it's a hit and miss. So I am not going to endorse or recommend people that I truly haven't had any relationship with, or simply don't know, or I haven't worked with.
Like while we were organically talking, definitely coming back to LinkedIn is definitely not a job board. But one of the layer, what you just said, that it's not a job board, it's a social networking platform, but treat it as a social networking platform and don't ask. Because what you just mentioned, that if people are asking you, just saying hey as a stranger and asking you to review their profile or to give them endorsements, as you said, you need to earn someone's trust for them to give back to you, right? So
Exactly.
it relates so much that don't treat this as a job board. You need to make your visibility, and if you're expecting something from other professionals on LinkedIn, you need to earn their trust. You need to be known,
Absolutely.
liked, and trusted. So I'll just quickly go to the comments. We have we have people joining in. We have Munir who is saying hello. Thank you, Munir, for joining in. Then we have Muhammad Zaid. Okay, he's joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. Munir is saying hello from Istanbul. So we have Istanbul in the house. And my son is playing around. So please, if you see anything flying by, he is just being mischievous kids. Okay, so I want to go into if you're watching me from any part of the world, please leave it in the comments below if you have any questions, because we are debunking 3 LinkedIn myths specifically for job seekers and newcomers to Canada. So I'll give it to you, Elia, to debunk this myth. Newcomers treat LinkedIn that they need to be perfect to be on
No,
LinkedIn. So
no,
I'll give it
no.
to you.
There's another myth, like big X. Look, it's the same issue. Like you can't run if you don't know how to walk. It's exactly the same. And there's a commercial now that we have the Olympics going on that says you don't need to be amazing to start, but you need to start to be amazing. So you gotta understand that you're talking to people, and what is the most natural way to start, being more visible on LinkedIn? Introducing yourself. Introduce yourself, even if you don't have, if you feel shy to record yourself on video and share a video talking about, what are your preferences, your interests, what your network will expect from you. You can actually type it in a post. You can, this is me. I am starting, sharing my ideas, my thoughts, my knowledge to you guys, to my network, in a way to add meaningful knowledge, and be a part of the collective conversation that happens 24 hours a day on LinkedIn. I have this interest. This is my, a small a thing or a fact that you don't know about me, because people will read your profile. So if you don't have it complete, you should complete it. And if your about doesn't say it, then you can add that fun or fact that people might not know about you as a professional. And then you can tell what you do, who you help, what organizations, people, institution, associations, etc. And what is the way, how do you do it? And that's when your skills, that's when your background experience comes to play.
Great golden nuggets there, Elia, and about just chiming in about perfection. Uh, that's, I think, so an imposter syndrome which any newbie on LinkedIn can have. Not only newcomers, more so newcomers, because um, uh, back in the origin country, like I can talk about my region from where I came from, LinkedIn was never used the way it is used here in Canada. It's like a
Same,
professional tool,
same here.
not only for your first job here in Canada, but for your second and third jumps as well. Because uh,
Yes.
It is a social networking platform, and networking here in Canada is your net worth. Your acceleration career wise depends a lot on who you know. It's sometimes not about talent, but visibility of talent in front of the right people, and that's where you get economic opportunities. So don't wait till you get that perfect piece of gadget. As you were just saying, you just need to start with whatever you
This is the
have.
best one. This
Yes,
is the best one.
yes. So you just need to start with whatever you have. If Because the other day I was speaking to I was consulting an immigrant. She's a pre-arrival immigrant, and she said that, Khatija, I am not comfortable in putting my video up there. So I was like, why don't you just start with text? Just start displaying your experience, knowledge, skills, abilities, expertise in an intentional way which serves around your career goal. Start with text, and that is a good starting point. So just chiming in what you said, it's not about perfection. Whatever tools you have, that tool is there with everyone, right? Mobile is there with everyone. Just start with that. We have a lot of other people joining in, so I'll bring them on board. Munir is from Istanbul, and he's saying if we don't have trust, we have nothing.
That's right, Munir. That's right. You gotta understand that being on social media and creating content is only designed to build a bridge of trust. It's a point. It's another touching point between you and a recruiter, between you and a company that might be looking for professionals like you. So if you're not there, if you're not here on LinkedIn, people might say, "But what? Where this person is coming from? I need to know. I need to understand that this person is reliable. That this person is who he or she says he is in their profile. That they truly have the experience." But why, if you haven't shared any content that is related to your professional career? Those are points of either get people either clear on what you do or confused.
Hmm,
Maybe they
hmm,
will feel suspicious that
hmm,
whether the information is true or not. So
hmm,
LinkedIn wants you to, one, keep a safe platform,
hmm,
you be trustworthy, and three, be
hmm.
professional. So you gotta build it up.
100%. Elia, just again adding to what you just said, LinkedIn is a social proof of what you do. And what I hear from my recruiter friends, that they use LinkedIn to vet candidates for formal job applications, which is just 20% of job market here. And then they use LinkedIn to find talent, which is 80% of hidden job market. So LinkedIn is an undoubted place where every professional, primarily newcomer job seekers, need to be on, with a very, very intentional presence. Not only LinkedIn profile, LinkedIn content, LinkedIn networking. You need to have I would say, a little bit of planning in how you behave and what you do, because your audience is watching you, whether you like
Yes,
it or not. So either you let the control be in their hands, or you take the control and build a narrative to sell yourself and use this to stand out, right?
that's right.
Okay, so we have Eddie in the house as well. Hello, Eddie.
Hi, Eddie. How
Hi.
are you? I had the opportunity to meet Eddie via Zoom meeting with the sessions and events that Larry Call always organizes for every week, and it's a
Mhm.
great way to also meet new professionals, to network, and just to share more about the platform we love, which is LinkedIn, personal branding, etc. So, Eddie.
Hi, Eddie. Thanks for joining in. You are from Elia's tribe. Great to have you in the house. And I love, Elia, how you are social networking on different platforms. Like, your primary channel is LinkedIn, but you are exploring other social mediums as well to increase your visibility. Do you want to share a tip around that to the newcomers?
Absolutely. There's, okay, you need to understand that you have a purpose on LinkedIn. You have an objective, either career growth, either still be visible by recruiters in your industry,
Mhm.
or finding that next job, for example. And you are here, you're sharing content, and if you're not sharing content, You should be social, commenting in your key connections post. Key connections can be recruiters, key connections can be hiring managers, key connections can be your colleagues who have also large networks. And if they
Yeah.
have a small network, then start meeting new people,
Mhm.
because that's where your tentacles will be expanded,
Yeah.
and people might see you, might notice you, maybe will take a screenshot of your
Mhm.
profile, maybe
Mhm.
will save it, who knows.
Yeah.
But also, there are new social media platforms, for example Clubhouse, who gives LinkedIn a voice. I wouldn't have the opportunity and the honor to be here on LinkedIn Live if it wasn't because we met on Clubhouse. That you heard me talk on Clubhouse, that you
Mhm.
connected with me via
Mhm.
Instagram, and then we started a conversation and supporting each other. I've seen you around,
Mhm.
and now we are here.
Here we
This
are.
would have never happened without this. I would have never met Eddie, for example, if it wasn't because I met Larry
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
Clubhouse. So, see the snowball effect.
Mhm.
Sometimes you think that, okay, Clubhouse one take takes a lot of time. It consumes your time because you are maybe holding your phone, maybe you
Mhm.
have your headphones, but you are in front of a computer, maybe talking about something about LinkedIn, and you are researching, so you have 100% attention of that. Um,
Mhm.
what I do most of the time is that I'm
Mhm.
multitasking. I have my phone and I have a kid around playing or going for a walk.
Mhm.
So that's a mom life. But
Mhm.
but I understand that if I am in my three primary platforms, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Clubhouse, I have one presence, two a lifestyle, slash business, which is Instagram,
Mhm.
and three, my voice being
Mhm.
heard on Clubhouse. So
Mhm.
you decide how to leverage perfect. If you have a great following on Twitter, you
Mhm.
understand it, you love it, you find it that it gives you results, just go for it. Just define what are your primary
Mhm.
platforms, what
Mhm.
are your objectives, and
Mhm.
then go for it. Invest time, because whatever you put in any social media
Mhm.
platform should come back. And if it doesn't,
Mhm.
well, then change the strategy, but never
Mhm.
the goal.
Yeah, I love what you said about the ripple effect. Being visible, you don't know because it's a social world. You don't know who is watching you. So anybody watching you, which is relevant to your career goals, can can start building up trust when he sees you every day in your news feed. And once you are known, like, and trusted, he would be happy to refer you. We would be happy to introduce, and that's how trust happens in layers in digital world. So I love about the ripple effect which you said of visibility on any social media platform with a defined objective. World
Yes,
is watching you.
totally, totally, 100%. So
Yeah.
100%.
Uh,
Hello,
uh,
Jitanjali. How are you?
yes. Yes. Thank you so much. I overlooked that. It's Gitanjali Meman. Thank you for joining, Gitanjali. We have Eddie. He's probably replying back to what you said. I'm from Singapore as a startup. Good to see both of you. Thank you, Eddie, for joining in. Support that. He's listening. He's listening. Great. So just ending, kind of concluding the show with the third myth. Those of you joining just now, we just did beautiful 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes, and now we're concluding around debunking three LinkedIn myths. So if you're joining Alia and me right now, we both are LinkedIn coaches who help individual organizations, immigrants around their professional goals. You can go back in the replay, see the what we literally, she and I included, dropped some great golden nuggets. I'm self bragging, but I love the show and the energy which you shared with us, Elia. So debunking the third myth is I can only connect with someone I know on LinkedIn. So it's just family and friends. What would you say about that?
Well, family and friends will keep you safe. We'll keep you, we'll support you to the moon and back. But it is your is someone in your family connected with the company you want to work? Maybe, but maybe not.
Mhm.
So what you need to do is understand that, as I said, the build up of your trust and getting to trust someone also comes from the interaction, the
Mhm.
visibility. And as
Mhm.
I said, there are many, many people out there. We don't
Mhm.
know them. We
Mhm.
only see one side.
Mhm.
And when that one side matches, for example, your goals, matches what you are looking for, what you want to support, the industry that you want to be in, or what you want to be known for here on the platform, online or offline, I would say.
Mhm.
Uh, then you start feeling that you can trust this person, that you can start talking more with this person, sharing a common point of view or a topic of a conversation, for example, in posts. Even if
Mhm.
you disagree, you can thoughtfully disagree because we are not all, shaped the same way. And even if we have the same job title, we are completely different entities, and our stories, our experiences shape also how we think and how we act. So
Mhm.
you can disagree with someone as long as it is respectful, as long as it is professional.
Mhm.
And that disagreement brings an additional and a more nurtured conversation. When you belittle someone, when you humiliate someone, when you troll someone,
Mhm.
you are truly
Mhm.
uh, you know stating the quality of person that you are. If you are
Mhm.
defending someone, there are also ways to defend someone, to stand
Mhm.
for injustice, to stand
Mhm.
for your own principles and values
Mhm.
without humiliating people.
Mhm.
And in the end, we are two complete strangers trying to talk over each other. So, what's the point of keeping a
Mhm.
conversation, belittling each other when you've never talked to that person? So,
Mhm.
take the importance out of the equation, take the emotions, and just move on.
Mhm.
So,
Perfect.
yes, to debunk this myth,
Mhm.
connect with people, but don't connect randomly. Connect with those that can be vetted as key connections for you. You can have mentors, you can
Mhm.
have referral sources, you can have
Mhm.
master connectors because they are so social, or
Mhm.
their networks are large and they have a giving a giving approach that they can actually open their networks to you, but always
Mhm.
go from the point of view of you
Mhm.
looking for ways to serve. When you come from that perspective, people find you good. They want to know more about you. But when you come from the point that you want to be served, that you
Mhm.
need a benefit, that I need a job, can you help me find a job? One, you were
Mhm.
going to look desperate, and second, people don't like to talk to the desperate people. Yeah, there might be a
Mhm.
charity, there might be something that comes out of compassion, but
Mhm.
there are ways at how you can address when you get approached on the street by someone who looks
Mhm.
desperate. Yes, your intentions can be helpful, but
Mhm.
also you can be
Yeah.
even a little reticent, a little scared. So
Mhm.
take it exactly in the same way. Take time.
Mhm.
uh, LinkedIn is uh, a long-term game. When you are
Mhm.
here on LinkedIn, it's not for you to find a job in 15 days. It's for
Mhm.
you to build an image, a reputation, and what you want to be known for.
Mhm. I just loved. Oh my God, it was just a masterclass 101. Thank you so much, Elia. I love what you just said. I will just chime in with 3 points. I agree with you, Elia, on that. LinkedIn etiquettes counts a lot. If you are on LinkedIn, you need to be heedful that people, this platform has been formed for business networking. So people come here with serious intentions of connecting with people, and people are watching you. So just like how you would behave in a professional setting, that is how you need to behave. Whether it be comment communication, being respectful, DMs, content, even your LinkedIn profile. The word communication says a lot about your personal values. And believe you me, in Canada, personal fit based on values is a
Exactly.
very big, big yes. And recruiters do shortlist candidates if they see their digital presence not fitting in with the values which company has. So your presence or your technical skills you displayed are beautiful, but just that one communication which displays you, which is not fitting in with the company values, that one unintentional comment might put you off the radar of that recruiter. So that is first thing. Second, I love what you said about serving. Be intentional when you are connecting with people, but lead with value. Lead with what I call value mindset. And it was picked up for one of the newsletter, which is published by Andrew Siemens. He is editor for Job.
Yes.
So so value mindset. And what is value mindset? It is echoing what you just said earlier, is serving with value around the goals of the people you are connecting with. And once you start giving, it is human nature, they will give back to you if you are
That's
known,
true.
like, and trusted. So
So,
that is, yeah.
for example, how do you find value? How do you show your value as a professional so that you can be seen as an attractive candidate for an organization? What's your skill set?
Mhm.
Create some content that actually proves that, for example, you have excellent project management skills. Show that you have created an Excel spreadsheet available for everyone to making a better use of your Google Calendar, for example. That's something that it's not out there. It's showing your how your time and organizational skills are, and those are transferable skills anywhere in any profession. People want, your hiring manager, it's looking for a person who really understands to keep, tasks on point, priorities in place, and that is showing it. So that's how you truly show that ROI, the return on investment, how really your skills can be applied to any job industry, for example.
I love how you gave a very doable and workable tip to that, how to add value to the network. And there are a lot of other digital interaction ways you can do that as well in
Yeah.
leading with value. Also, lastly, I would just want to end up that breaking this myth. Approach the other person with the intention of not just connecting but conversing and leading with value. And on LinkedIn, as a job seeker, you can turn the tables around. When you start doing whatever Alia and I discussed about giving value, you can turn the tables around when they trust you as a thought leadership in whatever field you are in. They will come to you. You don't have to run after them. They will private message you that we saw your LinkedIn presence and we feel that you are a good fit. And that's how I am getting opportunities from recruiters, that
Yes.
would you be interested in this position. I'm getting invitations for like gigs, speaking gigs, because I have displayed that presence and that expertise on LinkedIn. So that is it from my side. Turn the tables around. Don't act as a desperate job seeker. Turn the tables around with a valued presence on LinkedIn so that they come after you rather than you running after that. So
Absolutely.
anything else you want to add, Elio?
Just get out there. Uh, are you desperate to find a job? Show how your what are your skill sets. Create a list. People fail in finding people, but the finding people is not just going to the search bar here on LinkedIn and start typing names or typing job titles. Create a list of the 10 positions that are key to your career growth, and see who are around your location, how many there are right here, and then start commenting in their post. And if they're not active, then go to the next 10 ones, because there are people who are very active here, but they might not be in your network, they might not be a part of your network. So you have to start looking for your second degree connections. if, for example, you have a free membership, a free LinkedIn membership. But when you have a premium membership, you can, reach out to even third degree connections. But there's a beginning. You gotta understand that if you don't look for the people, if you don't start looking, really being social, commenting intentionally with good comments in their posts, in their recruiters' posts, for example, if you don't get their attention, and find a way to connect with them, not only on LinkedIn, on Twitter. I've read about a company who hired a person who wasn't even interviewed, but because they saw the post on Twitter from the CEO. The CEO, had created, posted a tweet where he stated a problem. So this
Oh.
person who was a candidate who wasn't yet being interviewed by the recruiter, he had applied, but he hadn't been contacted, provided the solution in a DM to the CEO. Well, the CEO just contacted him and said, like, you know what? I want you in the team because you just gave me the answer. That is how you truly show yourself that you have the skills. Go the extra mile. Don't just limit yourself to a resume and to wait for an interview. Talk to the people, find them, call them. And of course, it's not harassment, but you must understand that maybe those recruiters are, being bombarded with 30 applications that they need to fill, and they need to find within their network, 300 people to be vetted. So go the extra mile, and I know you'll get there.
Hopefully. So that was our show. Thank you so much, Elia, for being here. I will be just concluding this, that if you're watching this in a replay, we just debunked 3 top LinkedIn myths for newcomer job seekers, or any job seekers, I would say. Go back, see the replay, and if you have any questions, put a question, and I would love to answer that, or I will divert you to the right resources. So team replay, I do reply back to the comments, so do leave a comment if you have a question. Also, just concluding remarks, that I am conducting a research with pre-arrival immigrants, post-arrival immigrants, or settled immigrant professional with 3-year landing period. I'm trying to understand their job search needs, challenges, or situations. So if you want to be a part of this research, I've already spoken to few, and I would love to invite more to understand immigrants' needs, so that I can create something very empowering. So you can DM me for this. I will give it to Elia. Thank you so much, Elia, for being here and sharing your knowledge. I will leave it to you, where people can connect with you, talk to you, or anything that you want to say.
Absolutely. Feel free to follow me here on LinkedIn, or send me a DM on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Check, the insights and the tips that I give for free, and my hashtag Elia on LinkedIn, because I always think about how can I, solve a problem with a free resource that you can take action on right away, and I publish in a post. So there's a ton of resources that are there for you to own your presence on LinkedIn, to become visible, to crush it, to become a LinkedIn growth star, whatever you want to call yourself, but just do it. And Eddie, I'm gonna answer your question once we finish this live, because Khatija has to go, but no problem. She can also reply to you, because she's also a LinkedIn expert, and I am super honored to be here. So Munir, absolutely right. Don't tell me. Show me what you can do exactly. There are now a trend that I've seen more, and it is recruiters or hiring managers, founders prefer to see LinkedIn posts or LinkedIn content related to the job application rather than a resume. So can you imagine? So changing how changing the narrative is that you with your content will be actually a hotter candidate than with your resume.
Okay, Elia, I'll let you briefly take this question because Eddie has been there very dedicatedly listening to you. I think so I can stretch a little bit of time. So he's
Yeah.
asking, I am soon recruiting for my team as a startup. As a recruiter, how would you narrow down to who you like to work with to achieve organization results? I seem to be addicted to it instead of posting with intention. Is that all right?
Yes, absolutely. You said your your policies and your standards on how who you want as a part of your team. If you see a person that doesn't have any activity on LinkedIn, but it has a great background
Mhm.
experience, that that's you can vet it. But would you rather have in your team a person who actually is giving the results as content on a consistent basis, on a daily, weekly, bi-weekly basis on their profile, and you can see it, and you can see the results, you can see how this person thinks just by reading their content or the content they he or she interacts with, than with someone that has zero presence. It's up to you. But I'd go, being a founder, I would go with a person who shows me, what they can do with, their content creation, with their content strategy. They are showing me the ROI. They're showing me with quantifiable results
Mhm.
that they are, the great asset. They have the skills, they have the sets, everything.
Eddie, I would just like to add what Elias said. It definitely depends on around your recruitment goals. Also depends on how much time you have, because a lot of recruiter friends, which I have, they say that Khatija, we have strict timelines and we have to vet this much of resume or connect with this much of applicants. So if you don't have time, usually probably you can. Mostly people recruiters go through scan through LinkedIn profiles and the resumes and then take quick decisions. So if you have time around your recruitment goals, you can vet that candidate through different tools. It can be LinkedIn profile, resume, probably you can chat with them. But again, it all depends on what your recruitment goals are and how much time you have. But definitely very, very good insight just shared with Eddie. He recruits, and LinkedIn can be such a beautiful platform to stand out, because the recruiter attention is there when they're assessing you. So thank you, Eddie, for the questions. I hope it helped you. Thank you so much, Elia. I really have to run. Thank you, everybody over here who joined us. And I love your beautiful smile, Elia. And I will part with a beautiful quote is which I just read, that sense of belonging is just not just connecting with people, knowing people. It's about getting the attention, the support, and getting that presence the way you are. So Canada is a beautiful land which welcomes everyone with open heart. And I would just say, as a newcomer, as an immigrant, you also need to learn how things work in this local land, and to embrace the diversity and to embrace that understanding. So that is it from my side, everybody. Thank you so much, Elia. I will reply back to the comments later in the day.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure, and thanks again.
Okay. Bye, everyone. See you probably next week with another LinkedIn Live. Bye.